So here's another shocking, not even shocking, statistic. Are you poorer than your parents? Zero hedge. New study shows 81% of Americans are worse off than in 2005. That's pretty amazing when we had this thing called a recovery. TARP funds, trillions in banker bailouts, backdoor bailouts, off-balance sheet bailouts, $80 billion a month, Federal Reserve buying up these garbage, rotten assets from the banks, giving them 100%, 100 cents on the dollar, where you and I would never. It'd be like you buy a car, used car, the guy tricked the heck out of you. You get it home, it was being held up by pieces of rope, the engine's held up by pieces of rope, it's just junk. Man, I spent $10,000 on that car. I hate to tell you this, it's probably worth $1,000. Fair market value, it's worth $1,000. The equivalent of the Federal Reserve coming, hey, we're here to rescue you. We love you, citizens. We'll give you $10,000 on that car you just bought. You're going to give me my 10 grand for that? Absolutely. Make you flush full of cash. Okay. Here it is. Assets yours. And now the Federal Reserve has somewhere around 5 or 5.5 trillion, something like that, of these assets. So, are you surprised? By Michael Shedlock via mishtalk.com. The McKinsey study, Poorer Than Their Parents, offers a new perspective on income inequality over the period 2005 to 2014 based on market income from wages and capital. The study shows 81% of U.S. citizens are worse off now than a decade ago. In France, by the way, the figure's just 63%. Italy, 97%. Oh, no wonder why those banks are in such terrible conditions. In Sweden, believe it or not, it's just 20%. The numbers for the U.S. and France differ radically once transfer mechanisms like food stamps and Obamacare subsidies are taken into consideration. Percent of households in segments with flat or falling income, let's take a look at that little chart. 2005 to 14. Italy, ouch. United States, ouch, etc. All of it is just ouch, ouch, ouch. The first set of numbers is easily believable, but the second, who believes 98% of the U.S. is better off after transfer payments are taken into consideration? The study also shows that 90% of French are better off than in 2005, taking into account government giveaways. I do not believe those numbers. We would not see so much anger in France, the UK, and in the US if those numbers were true. The numbers in Italy, however, are easily believable. The study has some points that I do agree with. Points of agreement. 1. The hardest hit are the young, less educated workers, rising the specter of a generation growing up poorer than their parents. Number 2. The economic and social impact is potentially corrosive. Number 3. Nearly 1/3 of those who are not advancing said they think their children will also advance more slowly in the future, and they express negative opinions about free trade and immigration. Number 4. If the low economic growth of the past decade continues, the proportion of households in income segments with flat or falling incomes could rise as high as 70 to 80% over the next decade. Even if economic growth accelerates, the issue will not go away. The proportion of households affected would decrease to about 10 to 20%, but that share could double if the growth is accompanied by a rapid uptake of workplace automation, which I'm sure you've heard about. People being replaced by automated machines, automated tellers. Oh, McDonald's, you want to raise? No problem. Now you just walk up to the thing and place your own order. Points 2, 3, and 5 explain Brexit and the rise of Donald Trump in the U.S., Marine Le Pen in France, and Beppe Grillo in Italy. As in typically the case, the article failed to discuss why, and the answer is the monetary policies of the central banks benefit the wealthy or benefiting the wealthy and those with first access to money at the expense of anyone else, which is exactly what I told you, have been telling you. Federal Reserve, I have this garbage asset. You can't even call it an asset. This is a liability. This is worse than a liability, because liability is something that's still there, but you can deal with it. Maybe turn it into an asset after it's paid off or something like that. But these things are horrible. These will never become assets. Federal Reserve will step right up and buy them off you. $80 billion a month for about a year. Do the math. $80 billion every month. Do the math. That's what we were doing here. So all that garbage is sitting on the Federal Reserve's balance sheet now. What are they going to do with it? Can the Federal Reserve sell that garbage back? Some bank going to say, oh, hey, yeah, about that garbage you guys been taking up all these years. We'll buy it back for 100 cents on the dollar like you gave us. Sure. And then we're stuck with no, absolutely not. Those garbage assets aren't going anywhere. They are staying with the Federal Reserve. And speaking of which, I'd like to read you this. This is incredible. Never ceases to amaze me. I was fighting Bank of America foreclosure. And they didn't want to fight anymore. And said, we will give you a settlement if you'll stop fighting us in court and just let us have your house. And we promise we will never go after you for a deficiency judgment at all. Asked the wife, should we stay and keep fighting it? We're living here for free. House is small, it's older, it's got problems, septic tank's having problems. She says, I want to get out of this house bad enough that I don't care. Let's just take the money and get out of here. Okay, let's do it. So that was October 2015. Hear he, we the undersigned agree to this settlement. Give me my money. Felt like Smokey. Movie Friday. I won. Give me my money. What's this? Oh, I lost. Now that's what I want to read you. First of all, the settlement was done in October. I had 90 days approximately to get out of the house. That was the agreement. Where I'm at right now, we're renting the place. Naturally. But after the agreement, that also means this unpaid mortgage on my credit score, that needs to go away. And you can go ahead and put it on there as a foreclosure or whatever, or default, however it gets categorized. But it's still showing up as this is a liability that I haven't paid, and it's still there every month. Which means what? It's affecting your credit score. The club's credit score system. Oh, you don't want to use your credit card? You have great credit, but you don't use it anymore? Oh, your credit score is going to go down. You got to have credit. You got to maintain credit to have your credit score stay high. Oh, so I have to continually borrow from you people. Correct. Gotcha. Well, I guess I better work on my credit score. Well, I can't because this thing isn't taken off yet. Hell, we're in August now, and as of July, I sent a letter to Bank of America in writing, because you can't call this particular group, because I called Bank of America. Oh, you have to send them a letter in writing. Oh, okay, fine. Dear Bank of America, regarding case number such and such, this was a settlement. It was finalized in October, etc. This stuff's still coming up on my credit score as I owe it. It needs to be removed as soon as possible and reflect the proper date of removal. Thank you. Got a letter back. Sir, so-and-so, we received your letter. We're working on this, and we will get back to you. Thank you. So they got my letter. Got it. 3 weeks later, important information enclosed, Bank of America. They got back to me, right? They must have gotten back to me. What? Did you take it off my credit score? Is it off my credit report or what? I opened this up. I mean, why else would I be getting a letter from Bank of America? Joseph blank, last name. I'm not telling you my last name. Okay. Loan number, such and such. Notice date, July 27th, 2016. Important information enclosed. Joseph, the servicing of your home loan. You're going to love this. Tell me if this sounds familiar. The servicing of your home loan will transfer to Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC on August 16, 2016. Important information about the servicing of your home loan. On August 16, 2016, the servicing of your above referenced mortgage loan will transfer to Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC. As of that date, your new servicer, Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC, will support all of your loan servicing, including billing, payment processing, and customer support. You will no longer receive mortgage statements from Bank of America. Instead, your statements will be sent to Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC. Enclosed is a notice of servicing transfer from Bank of America regarding the above referenced loan. No action is required on your part in response to this notice. In addition, the information provided in this notice, will contain important information about the servicing transfer of your loan. Really? Something's attached. Oh, what do we got here? Notice of servicing transfer. Your new servicer on or after August 16, Carrington Mortgage Services. So it even has my old loan, number, 211 dot, da 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 da. Property address. Yep, that's the old house. That's interesting. How did my mortgage get transferred to another company when I settled with Bank of America as this being foreclosed on? How does a bank take a foreclosure that they now own and sell the servicer a mortgage, a new servicer a mortgage? Your mortgage is being transferred, which means someone owes money on this and has to pay monthly. But that's not possible because I settled with you. You now own the house. So essentially you could sell the house to them, but I wouldn't get a letter stating, my new bills are going to be sent coming from them. So you know what I can't wait to see? I can't wait to see if after August 16 I get a letter in the mail from Carrington Mortgage Services, LLC, asking for payment. Because then it might be time for old J. Snip 4 to file a lawsuit against Bank of America for even more money. Like Smokey said, I won. Give me my money. Take care.